Hey guys, so today I wanted to show you just like real quick tutorial on the Emporia Vue 2 app, so it's home monitoring system. So I just want to show you basically that how the app looks, and I'm just going to show you how to set up your circuits to name them. So if you see on mine, I've got EV charger, HPWH, which is heat pump water heater, some of our lighting and stuff like that. And then also the units of measure. So right now you can see the energy uses in kilowatts. I can show you how to change that as well. So first, let's just go over a quick overview of the app. So this is the home screen that you'll see. Right now I have it set on seconds. So basically this is like a live view of my actual usage right now. So as you can see, we have solar. So that is, some of my energy usage is being taken straight from the sun. If you can see in these top two lines, 1.6 kilowatt and 1.6 kilowatt are the two poles on my 240 volt breaker. And then right now you can see EV charger, 7.8 kilowatts. So I'm charging one of my cars. Obviously that's going to be using a ton of energy. The heat pump is running right now, our water heater. So that's why it's 400 watts right now. Anyways, and so this is what the app looks like. You can change it. If we look down here at the bottom, see how it's highlighted in seconds. You can change it to minute, hour, or day. Hour and day are the ones I like. So right now for the day, total usage I've used at the top here is 3.8 kilowatt hours. And you can see the in and out from the grid because we're pulling from the sun right now and our total usage so far. So you can also look at this in a graph form. So you look at the very bottom, the icons, you hit the graph button. So as you can see, my total output right now is about 5 kilowatts or 5,000 watts. So as you see by the second, you can see the actual line. And then of course, if you go down here at the bottom, you can change it to minute, hour, day, week, whatever you want. So I think for me, like I said, the hour and the day are the two metrics I like using the most. So if we go back to home here, all right, so that's just a quick overview of the app. So I'm sure you maybe wanted to watch this video because you want to see how to set up circuits. So when you first get into your app, under total usage, you will just see circuit 1, 2, 3 through 16. And how you change those, if you want to change those, so obviously first you want to make sure you know which breakers are which actual sensors in the box in your panel. And then what you want to do is go to the top left here, hit the lines, go down to manage devices, and then do home and circuits. So this is where you can change your circuits. So obviously I had mine, planned out. So I put them on the breakers, and then, I know circuit 1 is solar. So if you hit that, you can change this up at the top to whatever you want. So solar. And then especially for solar, if you do have solar, I'm sure you looked and you have to put in the sensors basically quote unquote backwards. So the sensor where it's pointing to breaker, that should actually be pointing to the load, which is your actual solar, probably your combiner box. And another important thing for solar is the circuit type. You want to make sure it actually says solar generation. So that way the app knows that, hey, this is solar, this is energy actually going out to the grid. So we basically reverse it for you so you can look at the metrics correctly in the app. And then of course there's all sorts of other things, for whatever the occasion is, whatever the type of circuit it is. And then for solar, the multiplier is going to be 1 because you have one sensor on each pole. So each wire basically. I'll show you, there's some other different ones if you have 240 volt breakers that are just normal. So like our EV circuit, our NEMA 1450, that one, you only need to put a sensor on one actual circuit, like one wire, but you can do a multiplier. So it basically gives you an accurate reading. So I'll show you that in a second. So you can hit save and your circuit for solar should be good. So for like EV charger, like I was talking about with the 240, we go into that circuit 3, name it whatever you want. Obviously, it's an EV electric vehicle RV, but then for the multiplier, you want to put 2 instead of 1 because it's a 240, like I said. So it has 2 wires going into the actual breaker, but you only have one sensor on there. So basically it's only reading half of the actual usage. So you put in multiplier 2, so it doubles it. And then you can see an accurate reading. So if we go back to home real quick, that's how you get the 7.7 kilowatt that it's reading because you've multiplied the one sensor that you have in there by 2. And then everything else, all the other ones are pretty straightforward. So if we go to manage devices, go back to circuits, let's just say kitchen lighting. Circuit 4 is just a 120-volt breaker. Name it whatever you want, and then the circuit type, if it's lights or, obviously, like I showed you, whatever you want to name it, and then the multiplier is 1. Save that. So, obviously, if you look at the app here now, we've got all these different little pictures, little icons for different things, which is kind of cool. So, like at the top here, EV charger, you see a little car, the plug, the lights or light bulbs, heat pump, water heater is an actual little heat pump icon. So that's pretty cool. So that's how you set up the circuits. That's how you name them and how you set them up with the multipliers correctly for the type of breaker that you have. And then the last thing I want to do in this video is units of measure. So for me, the not common, but the unit of measure that makes the most sense for me is kilowatt, because I just care about the power. Because we have solar and we have one-to-one net metering, I don't really care about pricing so much. But I think the pricing is the other thing that people might care about. So if we go back up to the top left here and hit the lines, you want to go to unit of measurement at the top here. So you hit that. I have it in watts. You can change it to currency if you want. So, based on the default setting, this is how much it would be costing me per second. So I'm going to change it back to watts. But what we want to do to basically make it more accurate for you is if you go back to the top here again, top left, hit the number, and then you go down to household info here, hit that, and then you want to do set utility rate, and then hit home. So right now, it's just default set at 13.2. That's probably like a national average or something. 13.2 cents a kilowatt hour, which is probably a national average. So for us here in the Bay Area, that's not even close. We're on a time of use plan, and the minimum, like right now, is 28 cents, and it goes up when it's peak. So if you're on like a tiered plan, like if you don't have solar and your rate is the same, fixed energy, like at the top, put that in, you're done. Or what you can do, which is actually really nice, is this app knows based on your location where you live and which utility company you have. So if you hit this rate based on your location, it'll basically, you've already told the app where your location is, so it knows. It'll look it up. Oh, look, PG&E, residential, type of service residential. And then E1 is a tiered plan, but we are on a time of use plan. So let me see if I can find it. We are on TOU, this one, ETOUC base plan. So I could hit that and then just hit save. You'll see, there you go. See, energy rate 28.4 cents to 48 cents, which is crazy. But we live in California and rates are crazy here. So you could do that instead. So if I just save that, and then we go back to home here at the bottom left. Oh, sorry. Let's go back to the top and change the units of measure to currency. Now I can see the accurate numbers based on what I would be paying if we didn't have solar. So it'd be costing me $1.36 a second right now because we're charging the car. And so that's how you do that. Obviously this is all preference for you based on what you want to see. So those are a couple of things I want to cover in this video. So hope those are helpful. If they were, or if you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.